I've had my personal rise garden for about 3 years now, and I'm just realizing I have never done a review on it. So today we are going to go through the things I like about it, and hopefully this information is helpful for you in case you're considering buying one of these and you just want a little bit more information before you make that final decision. So one of the first things I love about this garden is the looks. That's one thing that Rise Garden has, in my opinion, on other competitors out there. Their gardens are pretty. And when you're going to have this out, maybe in your main room or in your kitchen, it doesn't hurt that it looks nice. I have one of the original personal Rise Gardens. So Rise Garden has come out with some new models. They now have a charcoal model. Unfortunately, as of right now, the personal Rise Garden, from what I've seen, still only comes in the white, but it's pretty. Like, I like it. I don't mind having this out. I have it in my office/grow room, but I would very happily have that down in my kitchen. And honestly, that's where I used to keep it. And then I kind of consolidated all the gardens up here because they are multiplying. I'm a sucker for the white with the light colored wood. That said, if they came out with this in the charcoal, I would probably be a sucker for that too. It's got a pretty simple control up here. You can dim the light, turn it off, turn it back on. You can also use this button to cycle the pump on and off. There is a fill line down here to show you how much water is in it. The next thing that I like about the garden is the size. I have a really skinny little IKEA desk here and it fits perfectly on it. Got that tape measure. Edge to edge, we are 18 inches. And top to bottom, we are 16 inches. So it's not going to be taking up too much room wherever you put it. So number 3 on the list is going to be the grow height, which is pretty decent. I wouldn't be growing tomatoes or anything in here, but for herbs, which is typically what I would grow in here, herbs or lettuce or something like that, it has a grow height of... It's about 12 inches to the light, but you're not going to want to grow that high. You typically want to keep the light about 4 to 6 inches above the plants. So you're not really going to want to grow things in here that are going to be taller than about 8 inches, or you're going to have to be very on top of the pruning. But probably one of the things I love the most about this unit, it's not just the personal, the Rise Gardens are good for this too, but the personal Rise Garden takes it to the max, is how easy this thing is to clean. So I'll show you what it looks like when I lift up the deck. It had a little bit of algae in it before I was going to film this video, and I'm like, oh, let me give it a quick clean. And honestly, it took me about 10 minutes. You have your little pump in there, and then the grow deck, it can just lift off. There's just the open space inside. They've got a little sponge here to kind of separate the plant roots from getting in here. I mean, determined roots are going to get through, but there's supposed to be a little bit of break. And then they've got the foam also around the pump there. The real magic is in this deck. You can see it's just flat. Then inside there's just all those little ridges, and that's what the grow deck is going to sit on. Cleaning some of the Aero Gardens takes forever, and there's nooks and crannies, and you have to take the grow deck apart. This one is just a good rinse, some vinegar water, and you're done. The other thing that's great about this is Rise Garden sends you these hole covers, and this is so key because when you have a hydroponic system and you have water and nutrients and light, that, my friends, is a recipe for algae. By having these handy dandy little hole covers, ever holes you're not using, you can put one of these covers on, and that will take the light out of the equation and hopefully reduce the chances that you're going to get algae. So the other thing I love about this is how easy it is to change the setup. I have it set up right now in a 12 configuration, which is not what I would recommend for in here, but I am getting ready to grow some of these lemon basil microgreens. I'm going to be doing a whole experiment with those in here of different growing conditions. I need to have enough space. But this one originally comes with an 8-hole configuration, but obviously 12 can fit in, or you could put in one of these ones that has 4. It depends on what you're growing and how much space you're going to need. So the fact that it is so modular is fantastic. And that is one of the final things that I love about this. Jumping off from the microgreens that you can get to grow in here is they have a great variety of plants that you can grow. So this is more of a Rise thing than like the personal Rise Garden thing. There's lots of great things you can grow. There's some peppermint or some holy basil. We also have the Thai sweet basil. They have loads of stuff. They have peppers, they have lettuce, they have cabbage, they have so many things. And while I wouldn't be growing them all in this unit, there are so many different ones you can grow, like all of the herbs and lettuces. So if you're curious about some of the other things that Rise Garden has to grow, you can check out my Rise Garden seed haul video over here.